True History of the Kelly Gang فيلم بيركز على شخصية المجرم وعصابته. شخصية المجرم دي بنلاقيها موجودة في كل دول العالم وبيتحولوا لنجوم لمجرد صراعهم المستمر مع الشرطة. التاريخ دايما بيكتب روايتين للشخصيات دول، واحدة كمجرم والتانية كبطل شعبي. الفيلم ده عن شخصية من النوع ده لكن في أستراليا سنة 1870.
You're a man now. You go out there and show the world.
I have myself an indentured servant. Ned Kelly is his name. Shoot him.
I mean, he was always a bit of a kind of caricature when you were sort of growing up, but I'd read this book, Peter's book, and it was a completely different perspective on him. And I guess he was sort of challenging in that the mythology of Ned and why we as Australians seem to, you know, sort of find answers in Ned Kelly about kind of who we are and what we are, and that I found really exciting. You know, that it was a very different sort of take on his history.
This is a rework into the symbol that is Ned. There is the symbol, and the point of this is an interpretation of the man that he could have been. And so kind of in a way he felt quite separate. I think there's always a little bit of like, you're aware of the weight that he carries in Australia, but actually it felt, the beauty of it is it felt like our own creation, but was just kind of, it's almost easier to have more ideas when you've been narrowed in the first instance. And so once we kind of had the context of this character, his name, his place, his environment, his story, he could be anything within that. So it was a joy to go at.
He used to teach you to kill men. Nothing comes free in this world, son. Be who you are meant to be.
He just did an amazing audition here in London, and then I sort of found out he was half Australian, and I thought that was really interesting. And he was, there's just something so good about George. You know, he came in and there's something so beautiful and good. He's just a good person, and the idea of taking a really good person and sort of transforming them into this kind of ironclad monitor at the end, this sort of monster, I thought was, you know, really interesting. So, you know, he was also, I was just really interested in working with an actor that I knew would do everything possible to sort of be this character. So George came out and spent, you know, about a year in Australia before we kind of started, and got his body into this extraordinary kind of shape, and that was really exciting, being with someone that was just so focused.
Well, we had a gym routine. We had a diet plan of a lovely fellow called David Kingsbury, helped us all get into shape, because as much as like there's the aesthetic thing, Justin said that, you know, a physical transformation roots you in the character, undeniably so. You never quite leave it in a way. And also it helps, I'm sitting here in my body now, but to be in someone's body, even without the costume, to feel as strong as you've ever felt, to know as well, there's this kind of whole dance with dominance as well in all the characters, and to sit across from another man and go, yeah, I could beat you in a fight. I don't feel that most of the time, but that's something that you carry, and that's a truth that you just know in yourself, whether you're playing the character or not.
And also that hunger, like to be in such a brutal landscape and there is nothing to eat except possum stew again. And like, it's like to be that kind of hungry and physically strong and able enough to do your own ploughing and move rocks and endure that kind of brutality. It's really important.
Yeah.
You're not the man you pretend to be. You're a boy looking for a captain to tell him what to do.
You're a son of Steve.
We're rebels, warriors, and you all wear dresses.
It was a bit weird on the first day when she kind of had to give Felicia to Charlie Hunnam. That was a bit weird. That was a bit strange. But no, I don't know. It very quickly, you go into sort of a working relationship, and you kind of, you know, the fact that we were sort of husband and wife just sort of dropped away quite quickly on set. And maybe because I just, you know, I so saw her as Ellen, and so, you know, knew how to kind of, I guess, imagine her as Ellen and sort of push and prod Essie towards that sort of character. But no, it was pretty thrilling. It's amazing working with someone that you love, you know, that you get to creatively work with them like that. It's pretty special.
Nor outrun his destiny.
You're a man now. You're my little man.